Hey y'all, welcome back. I'm about to give my review of a popular TV show that's on Netflix right now. It's called Baby Reindeer. It's a TV miniseries. It's 30 minutes long and it's only 7 episodes. So, couldn't sleep last night. So guess what I did? Binged it all. My daughter recommended it, so I ended up turning it on and whatnot. And basically, it's supposed to be a true story. I say supposed to be. So far, definitely was googling while I was watching it. It is a true story. It's about it's a true story loosely because he did admit that he added some effect or some effect was added for dramatic effect. You know what I mean, to make it a little bit longer, which it came out pretty good. It's about a writer and actor named Richard Guy. But in the story, his name is Donnie, and it's all about Donnie. And basically, I feel like a moment in time with him through sexual traumatization, and I said that all types of messed up, but and just exploring himself and figuring out who he is, and if you ask me, finding some boundaries. The first episode kind of just jumped right into it about him living with his girlfriend's mom and um, meeting this person. I'm sorry, the whole movie, I mean, the whole show really is about his stalker, but I'm focusing on Donnie. But he meets this lady and she looks kind of homely or whatnot. He even admits that he feels bad for her, right? Feels bad for her. And, he's kind of nice to her. And she took that piece of niceness and she ran with it. Oh my gosh, she ran with it. So Martha is now like literally coming around and she's stalking Donnie and doing all types of stuff to him, but they don't go into that right away. They just go into how it took him 6 months to report that she was stalking him. I found it weird at first, and I'm like, what took him 6 months? But I think we all were thinking that, like, what took you 6 months? You know what I mean? But in the first 2 episodes, they don't really reveal that. They kind of just give like back information about Martha, her little quirks, because she says she's a lawyer. Then it seems like she's not a lawyer. She ain't never got no money. He followed her home one time. Her house is, oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's dirty and it's kind of hoarderish. It's really bad. It is screaming mental illness, right? So now we're like paying attention to Donnie not having boundaries, Martha having mental illness, and she's stalking him. Somewhere around the second or third episode, they go into Donnie's personal life, and Donnie is dating a trans woman, but he's doing it real shady though. Like, he's lying about it. He's not telling anybody. He's kind of trying to hide her. It's just really off-putting, and it's like, for a second, I'm not really feeling Donnie because I'm like, you have bad boundaries. This lady obviously is showing red flags, Martha, that something's not right with her, but you keep indulging her. You're feeding into her delusion, and you think it's like, oh, because I pity her, but it's not okay to treat people like that because you pity them. You know what I mean? And then you see how he's treating the girl that he's dating. Her name is Terry. She's fantastic. She's a therapist. She loves Donnie. Like, she really enjoys being around him. And it's like, why are you hiding her? Why are you hiding her? I want to say the first 2 or 3 episodes, I really didn't like Donnie. I didn't. Also because he's still living in his ex girlfriend's house. Like, why are you living here? I understand that you want to be a comedian, which he's kind of a bad one. It's not really good. His jokes aren't funny. They're very cynical. But yeah, in the beginning, I was not feeling Donnie at all. Okay, so when we hit the halfway mark, I feel like that's when they start giving details, like a backstory. And God knows I love a good backstory because I always like knowing why people act the way they do. So they give a backstory. Donnie's from Ireland. He comes, he wants to be a comedian, and he kind of sucks at it at first. It's not what he thought it was, but I think that's the entertainment business when you look at it anyway. He meets his girlfriend, Keely. She's low key the highlight of the story, if you ask me. He meets her. In the midst of meeting her, he meets a producer, director, or whatever this guy is. And the guy ditties him. I find that crazy. I find it so ironic that they made a story like this. the guy daddies him. So he promises him a job in writing and just gaslighting him the whole time. Invites him over so they can be creative together. Right. And literally GHB, cocaine, meth, everything. He's giving Donnie everything. And Donnie's always waking up in weird predicaments, feeling fondled. Like he is sexually not just traumatized, he's assaulted multiple times. And it took a lot for him to finally walk away. But he never told anybody, never spoke about it, ends up breaking up with his girlfriend Keely, but she lets him stay at the mom's house. And he goes down this dark spiral of just trying to figure out his sexuality and basically abusing himself sexually, just trying to explain things to himself, like just trying to figure himself out. And in the meantime, he meets Terry. Yeah, Terry. He meets Terry. He's not being honest with her, and basically he feels comfortable with her, but he's not being totally 100% with her. And then, he is back in being, in the comic world, and he's working at this bar, and he runs into Martha. It's a weird kind of thing between him and Martha. You can't even really explain it at first, because it's almost like he gets off on Martha stalking him. Like, it's very odd. He gets off on Martha stalking him, and she goes to the extreme, and when she finally attacks Terry, I'm messing this girl's name up. When she finally attacks Carrie, that's when he finally goes to the police. So we kind of have to rewind and do a full circle of why did it take him 6 months? Well, it took him 6 months because he always thought to himself, if I could not tell on the producer director, how can I tell on Martha? And the producer director did it on purpose. And Martha, harassing him sexually, because she's sending sexual emails and saying all types of things off the wall to him. He feels as though she's mentally insane. So he tells her the police doesn't do anything. His life kind of becomes crippled. But even with his life becoming crippled, it just looks like he's getting off on Martha. He eventually does create some boundaries and puts his foot down and tells on Martha, and then he tells his parents what happened as far as the stalking, the sexual assault, all that. And I think that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. His family is like this white Catholic family from Ireland, and they accepted not only what happened to him, but the fact that he identified as being bisexual and trying to find himself. And his father was like, I'm with you, son, no matter what. And it was like, oh my God, I love that. I really love that. You feel me? And he came back to London and continued, because he had went viral. He had a mental breakdown in front of everybody. You know those awkward mental breakdowns that people have? Like, you didn't even ask them. You're like, do you want a piece of chocolate? And now they're telling you their childhood trauma. And you're like, what do I say? By the way, you say nothing. You say nothing. You just listen. When they have those breakdowns, they just want somebody. They got to get it out. You know what I mean? You say nothing. So he had that, and it went viral, which made him go and come out to his parents and just kind of change the direction of his life. He put his foot down. Martha went to jail. He missed Martha. It was a weird linkage between the two of them, if you ask me. And the movie didn't really end the way I probably would have, but it ended in a real life setting. He never got back with Terry. She broke up with him because she just felt like, I don't know, they didn't get back together. But I didn't really like that, but that does seem like a fairy tale ending, because most women would have been like, you're not doing enough, standing in your own identity, especially if she's worked so hard to get to where she was. And then Keely and her mom, to me, they're the all-stars of the movie, because not only were they always there somewhere being supportive of him, but that's how the movie ended. He ended up moving back in with Keely's mom, and Keely was like, I just want to support you and help you out. Like, you're my friend, and no matter what, I love you. And those are the type of friends you're supposed to have around. Low-key. Forever. You feel me? And Martha did go to jail. I think she did 9 months or something like that. And then he didn't even go back to the comedy world. as we can see, he went into the writing and producing world because he has a show on Netflix. But it was pretty cool. Everybody said, you know, you should watch it. My daughter said I should watch it, and I enjoyed it. It took all the way to the end to find out what, because that was my question the whole time. Why was Martha like this? Like, how is she picking people? And why is she so clingy to them? Where did the name Baby Reindeer come to? Like, why is she like this? You know what I mean? I'm trying to understand Martha. Apparently he was in that same phase because that's how he wrote everything out, trying to like really understand her, listening to the voicemails, rereading the emails over again. But yeah, he did come to some kind of conclusion, and basically you have to watch the end to see what his conclusion was. But I definitely enjoyed it. I would rewatch. I would watch it again. I would definitely watch it again. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't what I expected in any type of way.